So the scripture says for us to rejoice in times of blessings. So we should remember, let's remember and celebrate the highs, and let's celebrate the blessings and the gifts from God, and giving him all glory and all praise, because no one else deserves and will ever get the praise and the glory for what he has done. I could tell you one particular moment. I remember this one particular guy, and I shared this a few times well, and I asked him for help. I asked him to help me during the time we were raising $100,000. Not to forget that when God told us to raise the $100,000, we had about 50 people in the church, and when I told them the next week that we were going to raise money for the church, half of them gone, because this pastor is crazy. I never talk about money, and all of a sudden I'm starting to try to raise money to do this church, and people just backed away from it because now they're going to have to give. And I remember with this one particular guy, this one particular pastor, I asked him for help, and he said, let me think about it. And he goes and he thought about it, and he came back, and he said, listen, before he got an answer to me, he said, I want you to know one thing. If for whatever reason we can't give you that money, or we can't help you with that money, and you don't get the church, just don't say it was because of me. I never forget that moment. And not very long after that, he called me and he said, unfortunately, we're not able to give you that money. Can I talk to somebody in here? And then I remember at the service, the opening service, we had all that work done on credit. And the person who did the work for us came to the service. And at the end of the service, he walked up to me and he said, you don't owe me a dime. Come on, somebody. And at this point, we can say, God didn't want him to give the money there, because I would have been up here saying he did it or he held it. But God says, I'm going to get all the praise and I'm going to get all the glory. And that is why God has to show up in times of your ups and times of your downs.